I'm not sure if you heard, but there's a pretty big Marvel movie out to this week, Black Widow. If you found this review in the YouTube haystack, thank you very much, because I know there's quite a few reviews being done for this very movie. Now, this week, when I saw the hype on TV, every ad said, biggest Marvel movie ever, or best movie since Winter Soldier, or oh, look, Marvel's done it again. Another great movie. Is that true? Keep watching. It has been over a year since I was able to sit in a movie theater, eat some popcorn, drink some soda, and just really enjoy a movie. I have to say, no matter how terrible this movie was, just absolutely getting in that theater felt pretty great. Now, looking back, it's been almost 2 years since Spider-Man's Far From Home came out. And to say I was pretty hyped is an understatement. I am a huge Marvel fan, but sometimes those movies just are a little campy. They have way too many jokes, and in the middle of a battlefield, they'll just be looking at each other laughing all day long. And this movie kicks off at a pretty dark tone. You see a young Natasha Romanoff and her family in a suburban setting, and then everything goes south. And we knew that would happen because we wouldn't have a movie if it didn't. The first new character that we get to meet is Florence Pugh's Yelena Belova. That's a terrible Russian accent I just did. Little backstory on her. She is actually one of my favorite actresses. The first time I saw her was The Little Drummer Girl on AMC, and it was a miniseries. And if you've never seen that, I highly recommend going back and checking it out. It is actually a spy thriller, which is kind of funny because Black Widow is also a spy. Now, I thought her character really stole the show. She was the emotional glue between all the characters. Her fighting scenes were on point, as you would expect from any Marvel movie. Her interaction with Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow was, they had great chemistry together, which you wouldn't expect after such a huge history with Black Widow and just a new character. So for me, she was the best part of the movie. The next new character was David Harbour's Red Guardian, or Crimson Dynamo. You've seen him in such shows as Stranger Things and the Hellboy reboot. Now, he followed a little more along the lines of a classic Marvel Cinematic Universe character. He was the comedy relief. He was the jokester. I felt his character just relied too much on the comedy to take him seriously. I do like the actor, and I wish they could have had a little more serious tone. So that brings us to the Taskmaster. Start with the look. I thought it was kind of a cheesy look. Reminded me of Spider-Man 3's Hobgoblin. I didn't like that look either. As far as just a straight action character, that was pretty cool. As everyone knows, Taskmaster mimics other people's moves, and I thought that's one thing they really pulled off well. But it was just a bland character, and Marvel has really botched a lot of villains on their movies. In addition to the over campiness, I think the villain portrayals are something they really need to improve. There's a big reveal at the end on who the Taskmaster is, and I won't spoil that for you. I will say I was genuinely surprised, so that's an exciting thing to look forward to. Just unfortunately, the character was just completely flat. Scarlett Johansson, of course, was great as Black Widow. I'm glad that she finally gets her solo movie after being a faithful member of the Avengers team for so long. It was really cool to see the in-between from Civil War to this movie and see how her character developed and things that went on. That was one thing that had been kind of left out, as every other character got to shine, with the exception of Hawkeye, who is getting a Disney Plus series coming up. What I liked about this movie, great action. Got to see more of the Black Widow, learn her backstory. Her backstory is pretty entertaining. It kind of seems difficult to pull off in a PG-13 movie. I thought they did a good job, because some of the things that they do, like I mentioned, to the Black Widows are pretty messed up, actually. especially for a movie that a lot of kids watch. Florence Pugh's character was great. Rachel Weisz, I also really enjoyed her. She was kind of like the OG Black Widow. My favorite movie of hers is The Constant Gardener. If you ever get a chance, check that out. It's definitely not an action movie. David Harbour's character, I thought the comedy was too much. If they toned it down a little bit, he would have been a really, I think, a high spot for the movie. I'm also really looking forward to seeing what they do next with these characters. Obviously, we know Black Widow is not around, but this is a comic book movie, so everyone comes back. A few missed opportunities I thought this movie had was Taskmaster. I wish they could have made him more like the comics. The runtime, 2 hours and 15 minutes, you really felt that. It was a pretty slow beginning and slow middle. Obviously, at the end, like most of these movies do, the action picked up considerably. And there was a good emotionally charged ending that I really liked. The end credit scene is great. I will say, make sure you stick around for it. It hypes up kind of the future of where this universe is going. You got a surprise character that you will know if you are up on all the Disney Plus shows. Overall, I enjoyed the movie. I'm going to give it a B. We will give it the Gamut Paw of approval. I'm looking forward to seeing what the MCU does next. Shang-Chi is up next. The trailer has got me pretty hyped. And again, it was nice to see Black Widow finally getting her day with the spotlight. Thank you again for anyone that took the time to watch this video. I know there is a ton of Black Widow reviews out there, and if you watch mine, I really appreciate that. You found me in the YouTube haystack, reviews lost in a haystack. If you found it interesting, please consider hitting that subscribe button, and the notifications button would be great. And if this is like you think you found gold, you're like, this is the review guide that I need before I watch anything, consider sharing me on your favorite social media site, because when you watch my videos, you're going to find something entertaining.